Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide for Ark Survival Evolved. Today in this video, folks, I'm going to be showing you how to tame one of the most useful creatures in the game, and that will be the Ankylosaurus. So if you guys enjoyed this video and find it useful and informative, please don't forget to support me in the channel by hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself, and if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel. Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this you can find down below in the video description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Now, I know that most of the old Ark players have their own methods with regards to how to tame the Ankylosaurus. It is not that difficult to tame. However, I am in the process of making guides for each and every creature in the game and how to tame them. So therefore, the Ankylosaurus is one of the creatures on my list. In terms of taming, you will want to have the regular kibble, and you will want to craft a saddle in order to ride it. The regular kibble is obviously its preferred food. You can use berries and veggies. However, with berries and veggies, it will take a very long time, and taming them with kibble does significantly decrease the time it takes to tame them. In terms of the saddle, you can craft that at level 36, and you can craft it in the smithy. You saw the resources you need. It does not take that much in terms of resources. There is an Ankylosaurus down there. Now, why do you want to tame a Ankylosaurus? Well, you want this guy because it harvests pretty much anything a pickaxe does, but does it better. So it will harvest metal, stone, flint. It will also harvest crystal, obsidian, and oil as well. Before you start doing anything, you will want to make sure that the area is clear of any hostile carnivores. So you will want to clear that out. You can use whatever method you want to clear the area out. And in terms of knocking it out, it is of course a knockout tame. It is a aggressive tame, so you will have to knock it out. You can do it in two ways. You can be on the ground and you can fire a couple of shots, then run away. It is a slow creature, so you can outrun it. Or my preferred way of doing it is finding ground that is higher than the Ankylosaurus, and then do it that way. Now, as you will see in a bit, the Ankylosaurus will come towards me, realize that it cannot get to me, then run away and try and reposition itself. So that is how the AI works for the Ankylosaurus. You can shoot it pretty much anywhere you want. It does not make a difference, I don't think, anymore. I think that mechanic is slightly changed. So as you can see, it's running away now. And then don't be fooled into thinking that its torpor is high. As most creatures in Ark, once they have a high level of torpidity, they will want to run away. Now, if you are on the ground, it will chase you continuously, and it will then run away when its torpor is high. However, because I am doing this from a height advantage, what the AI tries to do is it will try to readjust its position in an attempt to get to me. I find this to be the safest method, and most maps are not flat, and you will have areas where you can knock it out from. In terms of weapons, you can use whatever you prefer. You can go with a crossbow and the trank arrows, or you can go with the long neck and the trank darts. Do bring plenty of narcotics. You will need it. This is a long time. What I recommend for this is that you starve it out and then put in the food in its inventory. Once it is down, do bear in mind that most carnivores are hostile towards the Ankylosaurus, and so you will want to craft a barrier around it, so you can use the spiked walls should you choose to. And so that would pretty much apply damage to anything wanting to get around it. Make sure there is significant distance between the Ankylosaurus and the spiked walls, as for example in this area where I'm trying to tame this particular Ankylosaurus, Rexes will spawn. They do have a decent reach, so keep that in mind when you're doing it. Once it is down, you can of course also use, if you've got a wyvern for example, use the wyvern's body to cover over the Ankylosaurus that is lying unconscious. This is generally the way I like to do it, so I don't have to carry a lot of building materials with me. Now, I do realize that most people, or a lot of people, may not necessarily have a wyvern with them at the time of doing this. Also, by having a wyvern, I can also carry it, at least on my server. Obviously that varies from server to server. I think official servers does not allow flyers to pick up wild dinos or even tame. I think you can do tame dinos, I believe, but you can't pick up wild dinos. So with the wyvern, I will carry it back to my base if I want to do it that way. So as you can see, the Ankylosaurus's body and hitbox should now be underneath my wyvern. Now this is not a foolproof plan, bear that in mind. Certain creatures with a long range AoE on their attacks, so for example the Giga, the Rex, may possibly be able to damage it. The Rex does do a knockback on its attack, and also you've got the other creatures like the Dillos that can sneak in between the rock and the wyvern's wings. It is not a foolproof plan, but I don't intend to be here for too long. In terms of taming it and starving it out, I suggest using Dodo Dex. It is an amazing app. You can find that for the iOS as well as the Android system. It will tell you everything you need to know. All you need to do is enter the details of the server that you're on and the creature you're trying to tame, and it should tell you how long you need to starve it out for. I do recommend this method because, as I said, the Ankylosaurus does have a lot of enemies, and you don't want it being killed out before it's tamed, because everything that it will have consumed will be just that, consumed. You won't get it back. So this was to show you that it does harvest stone. Out of stone you get stone and flint and sometimes metal. However, there is a interesting little perk with this Ankylosaurus, which I'm going to show you in a second. So the wonderful perk that I wanted to show you is that metal weighs less in the Ankylosaurus inventory. So I've got 100 metal that I've spawned in my inventory. As you can see, the Ankylosaurus is over encumbered, and when I place it into the Ankylosaurus inventory, it does reduce the weight of metal. So that is a wonderful perk, because the Ankylosaurus, even at 150, does not have a lot of carry weight. It does have two attacks. One is the bite that you just saw there, and the other one is the tail swing. The Ankylosaurus can, of course, also harvest berries if you want to do that, which is also another good benefit of having this creature. The good thing about taming an Ankylosaurus is that you can tame it early on and use it to make your base out of stone. The reason you want to do that is because there aren't very many creatures in the game that can damage stone, where if you build your base out of thatch, well, most creatures will be able to damage it, and wood, same thing there. There are quite a few creatures that will be able to damage it. Stone is significantly more stronger, and it can be difficult to gather, but with an Ankylosaurus on your side, you will get that much needed stone. Obviously, the Ankylosaurus does still have its use even after you upgrade your base to metal, and that you can actually break down the stone and turn it into flint. Flint is a item that you can use to craft the spark powder, which you can use for various things, including fuel and obviously ammunition. And of course, in order to make ammunition, you will need gunpowder, which is crafted out of spark powder and charcoal. So those are the stuff that you'll need. Of course, you will always need metal, you will always need crystal. So this is the must-have creature, in my opinion, in the game, and it does always have a use. Now, you can set up a mining base close to a area that has resources, or you can just carry it around. Now, another thing the Ankylosaurus does is, when left by itself, it does sometimes harvest rocks around it. So that means you can just park your Ankylosaurus next to several rocks and leave it there, and sometimes it will harvest it. It does seem to be on a random timer. I'm not quite sure what the mechanic is behind it, but it does have that interesting little quirk about it. That is it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please don't forget to support me in the channel by hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new and haven't already for more similar content from myself, and if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel. Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.